Habari ya asubuhi. My name is Will Saburu. Welcome to Daybreak as we continue. As Sam Gituku said, matters social. That's what we're discussing today. And today is a very interesting topic. I want to encourage all men to use their phones to either send us an SMS on 22422 or to use the hashtag Daybreak. And let's talk. Today we're talking about, we are here for you, my brothers. All right? So today we're talking about what men wish women knew. And that's the question right there. Today we're asking what men wish women knew. Yeah, question of the day. Men, what do you wish that women knew? Yeah, we'll change it kidogo. But yeah, you can SMS in 22422. You can use the hashtag Daybreak and of course tweet at Citizen TV Kenya, at Shatat Kitaka, at CJ Atemo, who wako hapa ndani. CJ, welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to have you back.
Yes, yes, I'm back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
And Shata boy.
Wagwan man.
Wagwan ting.
Feeling aire.
Yeah man, wekelea uzito.
Ngola.
Ulishikilia sana.
Yeah man.
Wewe ni ule mse.
Shukran.
Yeah man.
Ukisema tufanye tunafanya. Sasa nangoja mshahara. Kazi nilifanya.
Tutanita kuangalia yamaido. Yamaido.
Yeah,
yes, so that's what we're asking today. And this was occasioned by, I was surfing the internet once upon a time, and I came across this. It's from an IG page called Spiritual World. CJ will tell us the spirituality of the statements that we're about to share. But they had a few things that I thought were very interesting, and I saw so many people share it on their pages, and mostly the women were asking if they're asking the men if this is true. And some of the things that they're talking about are true. Let's just take a look at some of them first of all, and then we'll discuss them as we proceed. Here's the first one. They say, just because I'm not talking doesn't mean I'm not enjoying my time with you. CJ, what do you think?
Well, because men mostly have, you know, non-verbal communication and a lot of internal communication. We process, yeah, and we process a lot of things in thoughts, so that the silence of a man does not always mean that he's bored, he's stressed out, frustrated. You'll notice that when a man goes, for example, into a function, a family function, something with a lady, everybody may be enjoying themselves, then he's very quiet there, just looking at the other things that are surrounding. It doesn't mean that he's feeling out of place. He's actually at peace that everybody is fine. So sometimes when a man is just in his element, he goes quiet, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're boring.
No,
not enjoying this session.
And then again, you see, the age and stage of a friendship or relationship determines a lot of things. In the initial days, probably because you're trying to catch up, you've just gotten to know each other, you'll talk a lot. As you grow and go, you communicate deeper than just with words, so that you can actually tell two people who are very solid in their relationship, and they can sit around each other, and they may not be talking too much, but they feel each other. It's deeper than just the words, because now they don't have to explain everything. They don't have to say everything. They've understood each other beyond the conversations that are verbal. Yeah.
How many times, Shat, have you been asked this question? What are you thinking? And you respond, nothing. And it is really just nothing. And yeah, hakuna kitu nafikiria.
Before tuendelee, hii topic ya leo unajua ni trap.
Kiaje?
This is a trap you set for us. Sasa wataka kuja kusema okay, afu wanaume uko anatuambia wanapeana siri zetu. Wanapeana siri zetu. But unaona hiyo swali hiyo bauliza almost all the time. Sometimes kuna vitu wewe kama mwanaume you don't want to give an opinion over, because probably your opinion won't be popular, ama you just even don't care. For example, what you choose to eat at night, what you choose to cook. Most of the times we just want to eat and maybe sleep. But you hear, so what do you want to eat? What do you think? So when you say nothing, ana feel unambrush off. But kiukweli ni ati ni nothing. Like you just do whatever you want to do. We are not detailed to that level that go and cook this and this and that. When I bought a food eco, I will eat. But sasa when you say nothing, it appears you're brushing them off or you don't want to talk to them.
But would the in that situation then, as I play devil's advocate, would then they probably think I don't mind anything. Wewe tupika tu ile iko kwa roho yako. At least useme than kusema just because you don't feel like you want to contribute. What do you think?
Si ushamwambia nothing. That is you. Why should I be here?
No, si useme bas. And miss sina preference leo we surprise me kitu kama hiyo.
Hivyo ndio sasa wewe uko wired kuongea hivi. Uko wired kuongea hivyo vile sasa yeye anataka uongee.
But si lazima mkutane katikati.
Unaona for example vile. Sasa ndio hii sasa ni kukutana katikati ni kujiunderstand. Unajua yeye atauliza hii swali na utaijibu hivi. Una get. Hiyo kitu hata sija imesema most of the time. Ujeona mtu unaletewa present, dem ana feel amekuletea the best of presents.
Na ni nyonginyo
things. Hata kama amebaili unaomba tu asante na umetulia. Haujaruka ruka, haujapiga nduru. Sasa ana feel ile kitu hujakubamba. But kiukweli umesikia poa, you feeling good.
Yes.
You get, but now you can't express it through jumping and shouting. But
And
now
oh my God!
like you've achieved something big, like really big. They are very happy. They are jumping and shouting and hugging you. But you're just okay. Ubetulia tu. Sasa wanashangaa msi anajifanya.
Shatta, you have to remember you're talking to Willis. Willis will do that.
I was about to ask Connie kuna if you jump and shout and
tuna celebrate nyakati umenyamaza.
Sasa nasema wewe lakini but it's very interesting because the same woman unasema utaselebrate kama umenyamaza, wacha Obama yangafunge bao. Shatta ndo huyo. Lakini gift yake hautaki
uwezo wa kumpea msalaba na plus.
No, I'm just
cross and an addition.
But look at what the woman is being exposed to. Yes. Here you are mekubaya gift, you're like thanks man baby, yeah, wagwan. Thank you so much man. Alafu hapo hivyo even before the goal ingie bado iko kangu ya Lacazette. Ajarusha ndani ifike kwa. Uko hapo pass. Bao ingie umecelebrate. Alafu nakuja kusema ati no me generally I don't like celebrating.
Hapo tumeingia kwa ile spiritual community. Football is spiritual.
What do you think, CJ?
Well, I think men express themselves on things that they're passionate about. And generally, when it comes to things like gifts, generally, we are not even wired to receive them. So mostly we don't know how to behave.
But we should receive them.
Yes, we should receive them, but we don't know how to behave when we receive. That's not a natural place. Okay. But you see something like sports, I mean, football. You've been playing football since you were young. So you have learned how to express yourself. You know the passion, the sweat, the pain, the blood that comes with it. So you actually feel you are in the field. You know, you feel you're part of that. But things like gifts, we're not used to. And so when a man receives a gift, he may not know how to behave.
So then should we change the way we are bringing up our children then? For the sake of their future wives? Because uzoesha mtu gift bas mapema.
No, let's just teach them to say.
It is for the wife or the girlfriend to know that when I bring this guy a gift, it's going to start taruka.
Okay, here's another thing. Let's take a look at this second one. It ties into kind of what we're talking about here. It says, we actually want to be complimented too. A 60-year-old woman complimented me 5 years ago and it still makes me feel good, which just shows how little we get compliments. It's the same thing CJ is trying to say. We are not used to gifts and compliments are far and in between. Why do you think that is so?
You know, and we want to be complimented, yes, because men perform for the gallery. Whichever way, it is just an innate thing. Today, if you bought a new car, Willis, you won't keep it at home. You'll call Shatta.
Shatta
let's
boy.
drive.
Yes.
And deep inside, you want him to see that there's a new toy in there. Your achievements, you may not even want to shout about them, but you want somebody to notice because you're putting in the energy, you're putting in the effort, you're putting in all of that. And that is where men now want to be complimented as well. You've done well. Generally, in relationships, most men, not all, go back home to criticism. They're only told what they didn't do right. So you came late, or where did you take the money? What have you done with this? You've not done this. You made this promise last year. We've not done this. We were to visit our parents. We've not gone. We were to buy a plot. That's not yet done. But the man will be waiting for just one thing. He's asking himself, is there not one thing that I have done that is right? And if you can focus on that one thing, that's the feeling good that this man, you know, had after 5 years. He's still feeling that good feeling because those are very rare to come. Women need to know that even men want to know. They're doing good. They're doing well. When you raise a son, he always looks up to you as a father. It's a very innate desire for affirmation. He looks up to you as a father. He will come with his drawings and say, Daddy, look. Now, from childhood, you find even the fathers themselves, they'll say, no, it's okay, or go and show your mother. You're already denying you're denying him affirmation. He just wants to hear, you've done well. So he will take it back to the mother. You will find this boy will spend his entire life trying to look for that validation. Now, he comes into a relationship and then he doesn't get it as well. He didn't get it from his father. Probably then the mother was overwhelmed. Then he's not getting it from the relationship as well. He still has that need to hear that he's on the right track, that there's some things that he's doing good. As much as we talk about, having your own self-esteem, but you still want to hear somewhere, because you cannot examine yourself and then you validate yourself.
It is very, before you jump in shot, it is very important to affirm somebody, so much so, hata Biblia inasema, Mungu atasema in the last day, well done, my good and faithful servant. Hata yeye atakuafahamu. Kabla uingie ndikni huko. Ulicheza poa, sasa ingie enjoy. Go on.
Unajua hiyo kitu. I think women will not compliment you because what would have fault if they keep telling you you're doing good. Sawa, ile siku maybe kama kutamsiku mkosane, hata kuwa na ammunition against you. Juu kila kitu unamfanyiaga anakwambiaga asante au uko sawa. Unaelewa? Sasa ile siku mmevurugana anaenda kuambia ni kinia kwanza wanakwambiaga mkikosana, what have you ever done for me? No, hujanifanyia kitu. You don't help me, you don't support me. But if they've been telling you, thank you for supporting me, or you're doing this,
hiyo line
ameitoa. Unaelewa? It's a defense mechanism for them. And for you as a man, umegrow ukijua naturally, aufai ku appreciated because what you do is a duty. It is considered a duty for you to provide, for you to pay bills. Unaelewa? It is considered a duty. So why should they compliment you for fulfilling your duties?
In the words of Swale Mdoya, kuna haja kupigia mtu makofi na anafanya kazi yake.
Exactly. That is it. That is how they use it. Wanaonaga mtu anafanya kazi yake, mbona nimwambie asante? Unaelewa? It has gotten to a point, mimi personally, vile buy gari, sikuambia mtu.
Mbona?
Unata home. Juu, there is something you do and you know if these people do not compliment me, itanibo. Unaona, ama if they do it nusu itanibo zaidi. So the best thing, don't expect it and don't do it. It's a defense mechanism for you also, sindio? So me they realize actually this car is ours because waliona hapo kama 2 weeks. Iendagi pale, iendagi inarudi, unashangaa hata kama ni kahaya. Kimekaa sana, hiyo atulipe sana toa wapi. That is the only way they realize actually iko hapa ni yetu. Una get? So pia also men have come to a point where they don't expect to be appreciated.
But is it healthy?
It is not.
Okay.
It is a defense mechanism.
I just wanted to make sure that you know.
It is not healthy.
And it's not okay.
First of all, isa hiyo ndo kitu unafasa watu wafunze kutoka wakiwa watoi. Unaona hiyo like that you need to appreciate a man. Hata kama anakufanya kitu na feel ni it is entitlement that they have. When they feel entitled to you serving them, they need to know even if I am serving you and I am providing and doing all these things, tell me thanks.
All right.
It won't cut you anywhere.
Well, we can go on and on that one, but tafadhali magaldem compliment wasa wako. Na lakini pia usiuse hiyo kama excuse ati sasa ukwetu mbaya juu umefanya just one good thing. Jaribu kuzifanya mingi. Ndio iko sawa. Here's a third one, a very controversial one as well, that men wish women knew. This is a very one that most people will not might not agree with. Let's take a look at the number. It's number 3. I don't know if we'll get through all of them today, but here's a third one. It says, it's hard to get over you after a breakup. We don't really have emotional support systems in place to rely on. And a lot of men have small circles, so losing someone means a lot to us. Most people, when it comes to, I'm sure hata mademu anasema I had to get over. Na sahi ushapata mwingine, guy mwadhani. TDJX once said something that I think is sort of an explanation, and you guys will say what you think. He says that a man may leave you in November, but in reality, he checked out in January. seller. Think about it. The way I interpreted it, CJ, correct me if I'm wrong, is that I guess men are wired to fix. So I might notice that hii kitu nikana nataka kuacha huku January, but let me try and keep on trying to fix this thing. But by the time it is getting to November, my January itself had already left, so it becomes easier to just and step. But anyway, it is, I don't know, what do you think?
You know, the truth, Will, it says, when it comes to women, men are weak. It's something that we've got to recognize. That's why most men will fall at the whims of a woman. Whether it is, you know, careers, or whichever way.
Yes.
They will lose more money to a woman. They will lose their careers because of a woman. Most. Again, I use most, not all.
Very
because, yeah, because they're exceptions. And that tells us that men are invested in the relationships that they come into. For a woman to be able to make a man forget that he is in this position that he has worked for 25 years, 20 years, or he has earned this money over 15 years, and then he will just take that money and spend on her overnight, there must be a grip that this woman has on this guy. Probably his own family and his own brothers can't get there. They can't even get the 10K from him. And he will go out and buy this lady a car and something. These are not just things that people do mechanically. They are first invested. And then they open up their hearts to those kind of things that they will eventually do. So when there is a breakup, the man feels it. And people need to understand that and not then put it down on a man like, how can you be heartbroken about a heartbreak? When we don't allow the men to deal with their emotions, they will break the next woman. And that is where now we talk about, you know, these men are just like this. It's because a lot of them didn't heal from traumas, from pains, from the things that were done to them. That's why you find the headline stunts of Shatter. He tells you. Those are not...
Headline stunts, Shatter.
Yeah, because this... either being exposed to men who have been hurt or wounded, or having met people who would actually do that to you, and they think that you don't have the right to feel the pain. It is very unrealistic for me to hit you and then tell you not to feel hurt or not to feel the pain. That is very sadistic. And people assume that when it comes to things like relationships, men don't feel it. They do. They do. The social circles of the men need to allow men to get over the heartbreaks as well. Mostly the men will tell you, oh, that one broke, don't worry, you'll find somebody else.
There are many fish in the sea.
Yeah.
You're facing a heartbreak,
yeah. So you've not dealt with the thing, you've just pushed it under. It's very dangerous because then you will act out on the next person or the next person over a pain that you never really handle.
And the lifestyle generally. But then what would you say? Because again, I'm sure women are watching this and say, but men wanasonga haraka sana.
It is called the Messiah syndrome.
The who?
It is the Messiah syndrome.
The Messiah syndrome. Okay.
Where you think you can fix everything and everyone and anyone. So what they see, you wanasema men wanasonga haraka sana. It's because wewe kama mwanaume, you know you're vulnerable. And when you lose this piece, it's like a game of chess. When you lose this piece, you want to replace it instantly. That is why men move haraka sana. That I would leave this relationship and jump into another because I don't want to feel that void. Sitaki ku feel that nili lose mtu. So I will jump to this one. But still bado sija deal na issues za ule. Una get, and most that, and if you observe wanaume wengi uko na pattern, unakuaga the problems you had in this relationship are the same problems. There is a character of, if you wewe unapenda tu watu wako na drama, you find this girl has drama. This afia na wanaume wanaambianaga, huyu ndiye anapenda mademo wako na drama. Huyu shada ni mbaya naye. It's not only wametulia, you know. You because you look huyu drama zenye alikuwa nazo huko solve, umetafuta mwingine akona hizo drama uone kama utazisolve. It is the Messiah syndrome. You want to fix her. You want to fix her. Ikishindikana, you jump to fix another one. Unaelewa? But before you realize, it's too late. Umezunguka, finally, unarealize actually, mimi niko na shida. I have not dealt with my past and my pains. Unaget? Yeah, man.
So it's important at least to have a moment to actually deal with it. Don't drink it away. You know, therapy it, talk it, do everything to it.
Pia na umeenda sana.
Unafaa lazima uongee. Lazima uongee.
Ongea sasa sio hizo vitu mingi hivyo.
No, lazima.
Ukitoka umetoka una move on. Haraka sio ushindia hapo. Ushindia hapo ukililia watu huku.
Lazima uongee. Wewe mwenyewe umesema hapa by the time umeenda kwa 1 2 3 hizo ni 1 2 3 hearts. 1 2 3 things you could have avoided. Just kwa kukaa tu kuongea na mtu dakika 30.
Tumeumbwa na hiyo agility. Inaitwa agility. Tuko na hiyo
versatility.
Tuko na hiyo uvumilivu that I will get a heartbreak here.
Wewe sasa ulichukua love is long suffering. Unaichukua literally.
Mkiachana una ndio 1 day 2 days unaongea na boys wako unamwambia je hapa Willis kuna vile nilitoka na sisikii fiti 1 2 3 imeisha. Go to something else bwana. Let's talk about forex.
It's interesting. It's interesting how Shatta flips, because I've sat here several times when Shatta is saying, you know, people are putting pressure on the boy child.
Yes.
To be strong.
Yes.
Today he's going against his own philosophy.
Right after kusema usiruke kwa wengi utapata wewe
ukishindia hapo wewe kama watu wanaibia kama say that pali pamoja hivi ni mawe inakaaga. Only a rock stays at one.
Ati nasema aje?
Wamwe watu wanaibia. Sawa, it's only a rock that stays in one place. Tingika kidogo hapo ndio umetokwa nini alafu sasa gather yourself.
Anyway, there's no timeline, I guess. It depends on how far along you are in your healing stage. Usisikie Shatta sana pia. Itakuwa tu ital. Number 4 is something again that women wanapenda kurusha zile hints pale. But here, number 4, one of the things that men wish that women knew is we aren't great with hints. Communication is king. Kama unataka kuniambia kitu, wewe niambie. Usiende huko wewe unataka kufika State House. Usianze utoke hapa unataka kwenda Mombasa Road uingie na Nyayo urudi tena ndo branch we tushuke tu na Dennis Split tuingie State House. Communication is king. What do you think, CJ?
I think generally women also don't love being vulnerable, especially when they need a favor. They will express themselves when they're upset. You'll get to know what they're thinking. But when they need favors, or when they feel that it is going to somehow put you in a position of advantage, they prefer to use hints. They don't want to come outright and upright. We talk about male ego, but there's also the female ego as well. The one that will say, I don't want to be asking Willis for money every day. You know, and Willis has not complained about being asked for the money. Says like, I don't want to ask Willis for the money every day. So people will be...
It is some. There are some who enjoy asking every day. You have to use the qualifier.
All right.
Some. Yeah.
Well, thank God I've not met those other some.
Yeah.
So sometimes, and then there's certain things that people think are obvious. You know, when two people come together, somebody thinks what I know, you also know. And when they think that is obvious for them, then it is also obvious to you. It could also be the influence of talk with other people who say, nobody doesn't know this. See, cliches are enemies to proper communication. Because when I keep on hearing people say, you know, this is what men do when they are like this, I can easily adapt the same thought to somebody who has no idea about what you're talking about. You may be judging them on a standard that they absolutely have no reason to. For example, things like if he's not talking to you, he's talking to somebody else. So
if he's not spending his money on you?
He's spending on somebody else. And maybe this person is quiet. He's quiet because he's just dealing with his own issues. So if I come in and then I'm thinking, okay, so Willis is not talking to me. He must be talking to somebody else. Then the hint comes in. Like, so who are you talking to nowadays? And you wonder, where is that from? You know, instead of just asking, why are you not talking to me? Is there an issue? But this person is coming with an assumption. They're throwing it at you. So who do you talk to nowadays? It seems you found somebody who is more interesting, you know, and then you're wondering, where is all this coming from?
Right.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Shatta unadhani wanafaa kuongea ama waende hivi? Ndio kuna hints anaanza kusema maana unajua haki nywele yangu siku hizi.
Achana nazo. Just go straight to the point. Hizo hint, mimi sijui mwanaume ashishikanisha hints. Na kama yuko ajitokeza tuambie yeye ushikanisha hints. it is not in us kushikanisha hints. Therefore, what they need to understand from day one, uchali nikitaka kitu ndo kwa namwambia directly as it is. I want ABCD. Because hizo hints zao mostly kwa accusations, and that is where they don't get what they want. Atakupatia hint kama hiyo, maybe uongeangi na yeye anataka uanze kumuongelesha. Na kama nakuuliza sasa siku hizi unaongeaga na nani? It is bound to be confrontational. It is going to be an issue.
So whatever she wanted to achieve,
whatever she wanted to achieve, hata achieve. Juu sasa mtaanza sasa itakuwa ni wewe ni nini sasa unani accuse? Nimedu bala angekuja tu akwambia by the way siku hizi uniongeleshe babe. Si tuongeage. Unaelewa? Ama anataka kitu anaanza asubuhi na conversation tu. Ikifika jioni haujajua uliko naambia nini. Umerudi home bila hiyo kitu. Unanuniwa for no reason. Get so you need to stop forcing people to understand things your way. Because for me to understand, hata shule niko naambiaga walimu mimi and I keep telling teachers, don't force a child to understand things your way. Get try kuona mtu huyu ana understanding vitu aje. Then that when you tell them they will understand. For men don't understand hints. So don't leave that line. Stop forcing that line. Just tell people things directly.
That's why I didn't pass mathematics.
They
were giving me hints. instead of the actual thing. It's a very important thing, and we also welcome your feedback here. What are some of the things that you wish? What men? What do you wish that women knew? I posted it on Facebook. I have just a little bit of some feedback here before we go to the next one. Jeff Busolo says we hate being treated with disrespect when we are broke. That makes us even more arrogant and less caring of their feelings when we get our money up. I wish, okay. Yo, niausiku. And then Ronnie Opio says the grass is always green on the other side. Hi, all right. And then the others, hey, hapa umeingia kwa usiku mapema sana na nilipost at 7. You're saying a lot of things are usiku. Anyway, haina noma. It is all good. Tell us, 22422 is the SMS line, and the hashtag to use is daybreak. Here's another one. When we tell women that we don't know how we feel about something, it's usually true. We generally don't understand how we're supposed to feel. I personally wasn't allowed to express emotions growing up, and it earned me into not being able to understand my emotions. I don't know. What do you think about this? I don't know. The nothing box, as it were. Is it true that there's a nothing box?
Yeah,
or
sometimes.
How should men really, if you don't know what you feel about something, how should you communicate it?
I think, because women are very expressive, they're very certain about a lot of things. The assumption again, Willis, let me say this, that most communication is marred by assumptions that people make. And that's where the previous point is very important, the one of not just hinting, because people need to be very clear about their communication. Because most people did not grow up in places where communication was something that was really taught. You expressed yourself anyhow. Probably your parents would just throw words, people would be quiet on each other, and as long as guys were still living in the same place, they were fine. There was nothing deliberate about how do you feel? What do you think about this? How many people really grew up in families where their opinions were being sought and their voices were being heard, and then their emotions were being listened to? I mean, if you didn't want to go to school, you didn't feel like going to school, you'd be whooped your way to school. It didn't matter what your feeling was. So you were taught that your feeling wasn't important. You didn't like something, this is the food we are eating today. All of you are going to eat this, regardless of how you feel about it. They've bought you a cloth, you're saying, I wanted a red one. You'll be told something like, if you don't want that, leave it and stay naked, So with these very little things, people were taught that their feelings, preferences, opinions, and desires were not important. So somebody grows up not knowing how to express themselves in something because they do not know whether it will have a backlash, whether they are supposed to even have an opinion, whether they have a thought towards it. So when they become an adult, they'll still battle with that. And sometimes somebody is very genuine. I don't know what I feel about this. Now, that might mean I don't know how you will react if I tell you.
If I tell you what I really think about this, yes.
Yeah, because I value you, and I'm not very sure if I tell you what I feel, we'll still be together. So
I choose not to tell you.
I choose life.
it could be that, or it could just be that the person has not processed the thought of that thing. They've not given it thought. Maybe they are occupied with other things. Again, two people in a setup will be looking at the same thing, but they may not be paying the same attention to it. Maybe this person's priority at that particular point is there's certain financial issues that they want to deal with. That has really taken his mind. So while you're thinking, but I told you this thing last week and the other week, he's not really processed it because there's still other preoccupying thoughts that are on his mind. So it's not that he has overlooked it, but it is not the dominant thought at that particular point. There are other things that have really taken the mind of this person. So he has not come to a conclusive thought of this. So when he says, I really don't know what I'm feeling about it, that needs to be respected. Yeah.
Oh, no, right.
It is a defense mechanism.
Shatter just feels everything.
Everything is defense mechanism.
Nikwambie, ati mtu akuulize hii kitu, first of all, when they ask you questions with already predetermined answers in their heads, if you don't give that answer, it's a fight. They don't want the truth, they want what they want to hear. Unaget? So if you're not willing to say the truth, what do you say? I don't know. Unaona, unajua hii ngori nikisema hapa ni vita tunataka kuanza.
Nacheza kimorinyo.
Yes.
I have nothing to say.
I have nothing to say. Siko sure na unaget. I know of a guy when alikuwa at that hiyo situation that dem anamuuliza kitu anamwambia siko sure. I don't know what to say. But anajua kinataka kumwambia. Na anajua akimwambia watavurugana, mtu ata walk away. Either the guy will walk away or the girl will walk away at that moment. So you know what he did? Aliamua akamwambia twende retreat siku moja and they went Bali. Sasa akaambia dem niulize hizo vitu sasa. Wakiwa pale no one will walk away, ni usiku mko coast tumetoka Nairobi. Ask me those questions. Akajibu zote. Vile rudi Nairobi wakaachana. Unaona, so amekuwa tu aki-delay the inevitable. It was coming to happen.
You know, some of these vitu lazima kuwe na context. How come wewe mwenyewe umekaa na mtu mwenyewe huwezi mwambia ukweli atazidi? Hiyo si toxicity.
No, hata ukigrow, no, sinakwambia hata hiyo kitu tunasema ati men have not been taught to acknowledge their emotions. At some point it helps. There are situations in life that you need logic over emotions. Unaona, that someone will tell you something and instead of reacting emotionally, you react with logic. Therefore, you will know how to know this one I need to be emotional, but I will not be now. I will wait. Unaget? Sometimes kuna a good part of it and a bad part of it. So we cannot also ignore the good part of it. People will do things to you and you feel wamko nyonge mtu. But ojambia no, that is not logic. That is emotions. Hapo naambia emotions zako tulieni, kueni wapole sana. You use logic in very many situations. Hata kazi. Mdosi anakuambia kitu unaona wewe ni kujibu. Unaambia emotions maintain, rudini hapo chini. Logic dictates what? Sawa mkubwa. Fine. Una mtu unaenda. Unaget. So I think for and that is why you see actually if it hata kwa kazi that it is easy for a lady to speak na emotions. Unaget kwa mdosi wake or anyone situation wewe unaona si angengojea. Hakuja tuongea na sisi baadaye before react. Unaelewa? Junior most ladies hata wakiwa watoi au wanaji-expressing emotionally. They know how to do it. Unaget? But for you, if you start expressing yourself emotionally today, zile ulifungia kwanza ukiwa mtoi, zitalipuka sasa hivi. So the best thing, continue being logical.
But what if one day ifike ile place yenye sasa nione ndo hii, this is the violence button. Nifinye.
Una malfunction. You are malfunctioning. You need to go back.
Nifinye na niongee ukweli yangu.
You are malfunctioning. You need to go to
so
factory settings.
I don't know if that's a good. So I just
don't ignore your emotions, listen, but logic needs to prevail over emotions.
But do you think that the other party deserves the truth? Hata kama itamuumiza kidogo. Yani eventually
truth is relative. You cannot walk on eggshells forever. Because eventually you see, you can't keep something on pause forever. Eventually, this thing will come out, and it may not come out directed at this person. It will show up somewhere in something that you do or something. Then they will have to deal with that part of you that you have really tried to keep. So I agree with Shatter that, you know, logic needs to rule over emotions. When you make decisions from your emotional perspective, you are bound to ruin certain things, especially when you have negative emotions at that time. But on the other hand, it is also important for your emotions to come up, because this person needs to know what they're doing to you and how that makes you feel. It's important for them to know that, so that you just balance. If I am not happy with something, I need to express it. If I feel disrespected, I need to say that I think that I have not been handled well in this matter. It may mean that I need to just cool off a little bit, but still come back and address it when the emotions are a bit lower. Let the person know that you are also an emotional person. Otherwise, again, people can become very abusive because they feel they have a leeway. You'll always be quiet, so they don't get to know that the thing is hurting you. So somewhere along the line, it's like, you know, when you crowd in a matatu and somebody is stepping on you because the matatu is very packed, people standing, and they're stepping on you. I would hear people ask something like, you can't feel that you're stepping on somebody. Now, you are hoping this person will know that they're stepping on your toe, and they're minding their own business. So you have to tell them, look, this is somebody's foot you're stepping on. You can't be nice, and then you're going to get hurt. And sometimes this person doesn't even know that they're hurting you, you know. So I think it is still important to express it. But again, especially negative emotions, regulate those with logic.
Regulate with logic. I like that. I want us to do number 6 and 7 probably, because I want to see if we can get to 10. Then the rest tutasoma tu tukiendanga. Tuwapatie tu kitu muendo mukifikirie. Unaweza na muwatch baadaye mu screenshot. Let's take a look at that. I really like to hang out with my friends because I love them, not because I don't want to spend time with you. And number 7, sometimes men just don't get, it's not you, it's many things: lifestyle, diet, stress, anxiety. Please try not to take it as a sign of lack of attraction or affection. Sometimes it just happens. You happen, bana. Kwani konini? Those 2 things: hanging out with the friends and not hanging out. Men have been wild. I'll put number 7 in this way. Sometimes women do not take men saying no, you know,
as a no.
As a no. Like, it must be because you can't be tired. How? Why are you tired? Ce n'est pas possible. Ce n'est pas possible. I didn't even get French. It's not possible. What do you think?
Well, it comes back to the cliches that we have. The thinking that a man cannot say no to a meal that is on the table.
Right.
That they are born hungry, they're ever hungry.
Like Shata said, kitu yenye iko nitakula tu.
But even men, you know, that is not the highest thing on their food chain. There are different things that would cause a man be at a place where he actually feels that he wants to get intimate. So many things. What is the state, as the man there said, what is the state of this man mentally? If they have other things that are really pressing them at that particular point and they're consumed in it, and one of those things is work, well, men really have a romance with work, with the things they do, their passion. If it is not working there, sometimes it will affect everything around them. And someone needs to understand that there's nobody else in their life, or they're not even rejecting you, they're just in a season. Then men have to be given, the right also to say no. Just the same way a woman has the right when a man makes advances to say no, not today, not tonight, I'm not in the place for it. They also need to expect that. It is not the rejection of the person or the body, but how ladies communicate. They extrapolate everything. If you said, that shirt, you could have worn a different shirt. How that is interpreted is larger than just the shirt. You tell that to a man, he will go change the shirt. You say that to a lady, that's a lot of things. So all these years, this is how you've been thinking about, you don't like my dressing, you don't like this, and you don't like this.
You don't like my dressing. So, maybe, what do I do?
So, ama umeanza kuna nani mwingine anavaa hivyo nataka nivae kama nani.
Nataka kuvaa kama nani.
Una get. Hizi vitu zote, even that it is not accepted for a man to say no. It is because a man has been treated as a servant. And a servant does not say no. Unaona, that is why when they need you to perform, they want you to perform. If you are not, they will assume you are offering your services somewhere else. Unaelewa? That one needs to come out clear. It's like hiyo sikuiona hapa, but sometimes a lady needs to know you're with her because you've chosen to be with her. It is not because she's policing you. It is not because she's putting pressure on you. It is because you choose. It is a decision you make every day that I will continue being with you. Unaelewa? So if I have made the decision of being with you, when I am not in the mood, I am just not in the mood. It is not because I am not here because you policed me to come here. Unaelewa? Hiyo inanidi ku come out clear that sometimes stress inaweza kukutandika, unafikiria tu kwanza umevurugwa job. Unaona? Hata useme Arsenal, tusiende tu kwa Arsenal because yes, crazy. The football team inaweza kwa imekuvuruga bro. Na watu ufikiria ni joke. But mazee unaanza kupenda timu ya ball ukiwa 6 years old. Wewe ni mtu mzima. Hii kitu this is part of you. Na sasa ile ina malfunction huko pia uta malfunction. In a way or the other. So hata kazi when maybe you're not hitting your targets at work and the thing is in your mind uko kwa hao unafikiria tu what do I need to bring new, what do I need to do this, you get your mind will not be there at that moment. Ana afadhali useme no na hiyo ikubaliwe than to be there and not be there. Yeah.
I think there's also the thing, you know, as Shatta was talking, I'm just thinking, you know, the way a lady, when a man has hurt her or offended her, she will expect an apology and not just a gift. There are times also, there are certain ladies who use that to try to manipulate an offense, where instead of just being apologetic and accepting that they did something wrong, so they want to bring a gift.
Yeah, they want to bring a gift.
And you're feeling like this is manipulation.
Yes, this is manipulation.
Kusema pole ni ngumu aje.
Hata nikwambia kusema pole is very hard. I don't know what happened. I don't know where the vocabulary masters, when the Tower of Babel fell, the language of Saudi was not included in the ones that was given to the ladies. I don't know why it's so hard.
Things like basi babe tuachana hiyo story. Basi tuachana hiyo story.
Ama si pole basi.
Hata hiyo si pole basi amejaribu sana. Inaweza mchoka.
Ama inaweza kwa just try to do something that
na ujue
like.
Actually kitu wajuangi. If you tell a man sorry, ukisema tu pole, that one goes a long way. Makosa alikuwa amekuwekea kama za 3 months ago. You say that sorry and you mean it, atazisahau. Because naturally wanaume wawekagi vitu kwa roho sana. So it is easy for them to forgive.
Na utakutana na Willis. Mimi naweka vitu kwa roho.
Sijalisema hata kucelebrate utarukaruka. Sijalisema hata kucelebrate utarukaruka. So
Shatta said wanaume.
Okay, not
didn't say Willis.
Okay, very good. All right, I like that.
Willis is not among wanaume.
Let me tell you something. Anyway, number 8, as I guess we'll I'm going to more times. Just get a music under. So it looks like, okay. Number 8 here. Men have emotions and there are points where we need to cry. Tears happen not just from pain, but also from joy. Shatta, umeanza kucomplain nini?
Hapo kwa kulia sasa kidogo uongo. Pia tumeanza kuoverdo. Now we are overdoing. Unalia furaha. Ati sasa nimepatiwa promotion job naenda umnikilia. Yeah. They just promoted me. Acha bana. No, mwanaume ulia machozi kirudi ndani. Hiyo sasa machozi hivi tunalia nimepromotiwa job. Hiyo sasa ni kuoverdo.
Na ukiumia
kiaje sasa?
Gonna go through the thing. Unapitia something that's emotionally taxing.
Hiyo na sasa unaona sio furaha. Hiyo ni sasa emotional. Ukifeel kulia lia. Unaona unasikia yenyewe hapa sasa yenyewe hii imenigonga. Utalia tu. But sasa sio ikuwe daily. Kila kitu nataka moderation. You must be the man at the end of it all. Kama for example, unajua kama kuna tuseme tu God forbid kuna msiba nyumbani, si ndio? You as the man you are expected to be the pillar at that moment. Unaelewa? Actually sit kwa tunaambiwa men mourn later. First of all you handle the situation iishe, then you go mourn after the situation is done. Unaelewa? Hivyo ndio tuli grow. You need to remember kwa situation kama hizo sana wewe ndio unahitajika kuonesha na njia. Una get? If you let your emotions engulf you, utashindwa kupeana hiyo direction. Una get? But it is okay to cry when you really need to cry.
We asked for, hold on, before we go to CJ, we asked for feedback and most of you, I think you confused the show. We've had to siphon a lot of them. and filter. Take it through the Lindsay filter and the Paul filter. Yeah, there are, Kevo Kiro one says, I wish ladies could know how difficult kurusha ngeli, wangetuelewa mapema. And one of the quotes there was that sometimes it's okay to shoot your shot fast. Tukatia hata sisi.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. All right, next. Peter Mbudhia, and some men are wired to cast visions. Whether or not the details are clear, they're always thinking way ahead. That's why women see them as far-fetched at times. Unasema, I want to be president in 2047. Ate wewe. Ate MCA. But you cast it out, you put it as abstract. Alafu inakuwa sawa. Tonui Chris. Men wish women knew that they hate nagging in the place of straightforward communication. Sema kinataka kuniambia. Usije kusema A, B, C, D, E, F. But it's interesting. I'm sure if we do a next one of what women wish men knew, I'm sure women will really watatuambia mamambo hapa. Be what teacher? Men may talk with their buddies more than they talk with their wife. Man, a bad man thing.
Hiyo ni ukweli.
Ni ukweli. Acha tuambie mtu wa 18 years. Unajua wewe.
I think it really depends.
Yes.
It depends on, there's always this thing about when a man feels safe, he will express himself. So it depends. If the friends make him feel safe, generally because he feels the stakes are not too high, he can express himself freely and they'll still treat him as a friend. Then he might speak more there. If he feels that him expressing himself the same way back at home is going to endanger that marriage, then he might not express himself there. So it depends on the person that he has in the house. There are people whose marriages are based on friendship. They can talk about a lot of things, including conflict, and come out of it and still feel like this person is true to me. And they are doing very well, even in their marriages. So you find that they are the closest of friends. In other cases, it's not the truth. There are also men who have male friends who are not as loyal to them as their wives are, because some of the male friends are very competitive, malicious, jealous. So it is a contextual thing. But generally, why men would find it easier to talk to their friends is the stakes are low. Even if I tell Willis today I messed up, he's not going to leave me. You know, so I can easily say things here because I know this is going to be permanent. If I go home and I say probably I lost this money, the repercussions will be heavier. You know, Willis might just tell me, oh man, but what were you thinking? Then that is gone. So let's go and hang out. You forget about this. On the other hand, if I said I lost this money, they'll be thinking, so how come you didn't even tell me you had that money yourself?
In the first place. What else are you not telling me?
Yeah. But there are men who have very good friends as their wives.
All right. Well, we're going to end it there. The rest of these are on my Instagram stories. You can go and check them out there. Of course, like I said earlier, we borrowed from Spiritual World. It's an Instagram page. You can also go and check it out. Again, well, Spiritual World. Let's just call it that. But you can go and check the rest of them. I guess at the end of the day, communicate with your partner, your spouse, your family member, your boss, what it is exactly you wish that they knew as well. We'll take some time also. I've seen a few comments and people texting me here saying we should also do one about what women wish men knew. We'll think about it and see if we can. No, we'll do it. We will do it. We will do it. But until then, wejua tu Mungu anakupenda. Ongea kitu zile hisia zile. Ziongee mwanangu, ziongee kakangu. Mambo itakuwa sawa tena sana. Mungu awabariki sana.